And these people that claim or carry themselves without actually claiming to be an expert, a Bigfoot expert. I mean, come on, what the hell is a Bigfoot expert? There is no such thing as an expert when it comes to Bigfoot.
They know in an instant that you are in the woods. There is no hiding from them. There is no being quiet or sneaking up on them. As soon as you walk in the woods, you walk in their front door, thinking that you are going to surprise them. You're only kidding yourself.
We have got to get it out of our heads that anecdotal evidence is not evidence. The best way, in my opinion, that we have to learn about these creatures right now is by listening to and talking to those that have experienced them, those who have witnessed them and experienced them in their own environment.
We do what we do to try to bring awareness to this topic, to be an open door for somebody to walk through, to be able to share their story, a listening ear, a support pole for those who have had their own encounters with that which is not supposed to exist.
We've got to open our eyes, people. There is something out there. All of these thousands of people that have seen something, they're not all lying. They're not all crazy. There are some very reputable, good people out there that have seen something. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Bigfoot Report. Y'all thought I was going to say Paranormal Odyssey, didn't you?
Nope.
Y'all got a brand new look at the new intro video. Made that earlier today. Hope you all enjoyed it. How's everybody doing out there tonight? We are excited to be here. Tiffany, what's up, man?
Oh, not too much. Oh, hey, look. You see on my Beetlejuices, all of my new giraffes, and Zach hasn't even seen them.
What'd you say, Beetlejuices? What?
Yeah, those Beetlejuice dolls. They've been up there for like 3 weeks. But I'm talking about the giraffes on top. You're not observant, honey.
You can't tell that's a beetle. Anybody tells me they can tell that's a Beetlejuice, they're crazy.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, they're Beetlejuice. And on top of Beetlejuice...
Hold on, let's see.
See? Beetlejuice. There's 2 of them. And there's 5 giraffes sitting around them that I found today because they needed a new home. I'm on the wrong side.
There you go.
I'm female, so I'm right side.
There you go.
But yeah, they needed a home, so I gave them a home.
All right. Well, other than collecting dolls, what's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm super excited. I told everybody in Discord, I'm super excited about tonight's show. And Russell's like, we're excited that you're excited because I get them excited. It's just an excitement fest.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to hang out with the guys backstage for a few minutes before we came on, and I remember having them on. It hadn't quite been a year ago, like 10 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were really cool. That was a fun episode, and I'm excited to have them back. Some of these pictures, guys, of the Jailhouse that we're going to be talking about tonight, holy crap.
Yes.
Y'all are just going to have to...
It's madness.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait to see that. Tiffany knows a lot more about them and has been talking about them, so she'll be dealing with it a whole lot more than me tonight. But it's going to be a good time.
It is going to be so fun. So fun.
All right, well, what do you say we pay some bills so we can get them up here?
Let's do it, man.
Anybody out there that is new to the show tonight, thank you so much. Before you leave, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and I, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany at Paranormal World Productions. And we are taking those encounters, and we'll put that little banner up for you. But if you have an encounter that you would prefer to have narrated, you can send that to the Bigfoot Report podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely. Paranormalworldproductions.com is our website. Head over there, check out all the other shows, sign up for the Bigfoot newsletter, pick you up some merch. All of that amazing stuff is at paranormalworldproductions.com.
And if you have any questions, I'm sure you will, and I love all of your questions. Just please put them in all capital letters, because sometimes the chat can really start rolling and it just makes it so much easier for us. We highlight them throughout the show, and we do like this rapid fire Q&A at the end. Just put them in all capital letters, please.
Manimalresearch.org is the website of the organization that I founded back in 2019. If you are having believed activity on your property and would like someone to come out and check it out at no charge, there's never any charge for anything we do. We would love to be the ones that you trust to do that. Also, if you would like to become a member and get out and do some investigations and be the people that go out and check these properties, we would love to talk to you about that. Head over to manimalresearch.org to get information on doing that and pick you up a shirt or something. That would be cool.
And we say it every week, but it's always available. It's $1.99 per month. It's not a lot of money, but we do have our membership that affords you different perks that just regular subscribers do not get. And it's just our way of saying thank you for the love and the support that you show. But again, it's just $1.99 a month. You get members only Discord, member only lives. They're so fun. And you get, we're family. We don't see our members as numbers. We don't see our members as just screen names. They are our family. So again, Alex says it all the time. It's the best $1.99 he has ever spent. And what are you going to get for $1.99?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
Herpes.
Did you really just say you probably would get herpes for $1.99? That's a cheap hoe.
That's a cheap one. Anybody offering it for $1.99, be weary, guys.
Whew, wow. Yeah. Stop it. But yes, $1.99. It's just, you get different things, and we appreciate every single one of our members. So
yeah, Tiffany said, it's not just numbers to us. We're going to the Smoky Mountain Conference this year.
Inflation.
Yeah. Chris thinks that's even gone up. We're going to the Smoky Mountain.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. You guys are amazing.
So nice.
Thank you very much. That's very cool of you. Those are the guys that are backstage, in case y'all are wondering.
Very cool.
But as Tiffany was saying, yeah, they're more than just a number to us. We're going to the Smoky Mountain Conference this year, and Miss Chris Blaylock has rented a cabin that we're all going to be staying at, and we're having a big dinner after the conference, and all of our members are invited. If you're going to be there, come eat with us, break bread, spend the whole night hanging out, talking, just having a good time. That's just another perk that we try to do for you guys.
Yes.
But lastly, before we get to the guys backstage, if you love you too, guys, if you notice at the bottom, the Cash App and the Venmo, that's always open. We have offered that to you guys as another way of helping us out. You have always been really cool at hitting us with super stickers. The only real issue with that is YouTube is pretty heavy-handed on their fees. I don't blame them. I'm not upset with them at all. No one's in business to break even. You're in business to make money. So, I understand it. But we need that money more than they do, to be completely honest. Everything you see tonight cost us money. So we have some members, and we invite others, if you would like to help us out to keep this going and to improve as much as we can, help us out with those donations at Cash App and Venmo. You'll see it at the bottom there. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Another plus is with YouTube, you have to wait a month before you get the money. And with Venmo, you get it right away. So,
yeah.
And as I'm speaking, Miss Chris Blaylock just sent us $50.
Oh my God. I can't wait to just hug her neck in July.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's if you can't do anything, money, we understand. We appreciate it. Just like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And rate us and review us every chance you get.
Word
That
of
will help
mouth
out as well.
Yeah, and especially with this rebrand or reformat, however you want to look at it, you know, when you basically, we're not starting over, but when you have a new name, you're kind of starting over. So if you could just tell people, I mean, it would do wonders for us.
Word of mouth is that's the best. That's the best advertisement because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Troy just sent us 20.
Oh, Troy, I'm gonna hug your neck too.
Thank you, buddy.
So sweet. Thank you.
All right. As we were saying a little bit about the guys backstage, Tiffany, go ahead and tell us all about them.
Well, you guys, I am just here to tell you, these are my bromies, okay? They're my bromies. Because on every investigation that you watch, they say bro a lot. I say bro a lot in my everyday speaking. So I came up with that name and I was like, yeah, they're my bromies. But we had them on 10 months ago. They came on after we had the owner of the Boyd House on. So I brought them on after her show because I thought it was really cool. We had her on and then they actually investigated the property. And it was just a super fun time. I told them we have a whole new setup because 10 months ago, I was leaned over a laptop. The room behind me was dark. Wayne was sitting sideways. So they came on and they're like, wow, you're big now. But they are super cool. It's Randy, Nick, and Chip. You guys will remember them as soon as you see them. And they investigated recently the Squirrel Cage jail.
I can't wait for y'all to see that.
It's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. And this was also where the infamous serial axe killer, Jake Bird, was housed. There was a hex placed on it.
So much shit to get into tonight, guys.
So much. So,
and we have a trailer to play that they sent us. I don't know if they're going to want to play that pretty soon or toward the end of the show. We'll leave that up to them, but it's queued up and ready to go.
Yeah. So, let's just bring them on out and we'll get this party started.
All right, guys, help me welcome and show your love for Randy and Chip and Nick. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
What's up, guys?
How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing awesome. Glad to be back.
Yes, my
we're better now that we're here.
All my bromies.
All her bromies. And just a heads up, we will be showing some leg tonight.
Yes, I asked permission first. I always, the last show I think I had, because I was like, wait, you're in law enforcement or corrections. Let me just ask your permission before I show this.
Yeah, Tiffany's got a thing for Nick's legs.
No.
Sorry, Mr. T.
God. He would be like,
hey, don't we all? Don't we all?
Yeah. Hey. Shit, let's just get him out here.
Cool tattoo, man.
Let's just get him out here. Hey, he's got nice legs.
And that's a cool ass tattoo.
Yeah, that is a really cool tattoo. I like that.
Yeah.
Is that a particular haunted house? Is that the Psycho?
No, it's just it's actually a place up in Duluth that it kind of took shape of. I kind of let the artist do something more original, and then he did his own thing, and then there it is. Stuck it on there.
I think it's really cool, like the tree, and then the tombstones with a fence.
Yeah, I just gotta say, I've got over 40 tattoos myself, and I don't have any up there in that bend behind the knee. I got to imagine that would suck.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that one was pretty painful, honestly.
Yeah,
I didn't like the stretched out calf either. That was painful.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one on my calf too, and I've had it so long, I don't remember how bad it was, but I don't remember like it being terrible. But the one on my chest, I don't know if y'all got one on your chest or not, but when they got close to my nipple, I wanted to scream.
I think Nick's got one.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
It was terrible, man, and like over the sternum, like that, because there's it's just bone right there, and I could feel my entire body vibrating when they went over that. We're not here to talk about tattoos, but
that was a really, that's a really kick-ass tattoo. And so when I was watching y'all's video of the investigation of the squirrel cage, I was like, I am so going to screenshot that and show the masses, because that is an awesome tattoo.
Oh, so you screenshotted it. That's not something he sent you, right?
No, I screenshotted the pictures that I have that I showed you before everybody got here. I screenshotted them.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tiffany.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm doing my damn job.
Have you guys, I don't know if you guys are gamers or not, have you guys ever played Resident Evil by chance?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah.
I know you took a little bit of inspiration from the Spencer Mansion from the first game, I believe, Nick, right? To kind of play into effect of that, a little bit of mix of a haunted house and one of our favorite games.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And we added some of that stuff into some of our like cutaway scenes and all that stuff too, like our music in the background and stuff, just to have that nostalgic feeling.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys, tell us a little bit about who you are, because I mean it has almost been a year since we've had you on. We'll start with Randy. I mean, Randy, if you want to go ahead and knock it out and just tell us who you are, what you do, where you're from, just all that really cool stuff.
Yeah, so we started doing haunted houses just kind of at random. Like I used to just make fishing videos. Obviously, as you can tell by Chip's shirt, we're big into fishing up here with a lot of lakes. So we went from that, and then we just booked a night into a haunted Edinburgh Manor, and we're like, well, let's go film it. And ever since then, we kind of been addicted. So yeah, we're from the Twin Cities up here in Minnesota. But yeah.
Okay. Chip, Nick, whichever one of you want to jump in.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been doing this, and what got you interested? Like, go back to the beginning. What piqued your interest?
Yeah. So I'm Nick. I've been doing this stuff for a while now, since we were younger. So actually at his parents' house was the first haunted experience that I've ever had. And it was just an older build. And then we would sit around and tell ghost stories as a family. And I was always intrigued by that. So then I wanted to have my own ghost story. So then I went seeking it in the wrong places. I ended up going to this place called Gray Cloud Island in Minnesota, and they have an old native burial ground. And then I ended up trespassing and stumbled upon that. And then I had something either attached to me or followed me home. And then from there, it kind of just took off because it was just an unexplainable thing that I didn't know. I didn't have any answers. So then I got really invested into it. And then these two kind of went along with me after I started purchasing equipment to go explore all this stuff out.
Yep, just here to hang out. Moral support.
All right, Chip, you're one of the dads, right? Are you Nick's dad?
Randy's
dad. Okay. So you're obviously older. So you have a little bit more experience. Can you speak a little bit about, do you have any experiences from when you were younger that kind of led you to this?
It's never ending. I've been living with these paranormal activities for ever since I can remember, about probably from the age of 15.
Oh, wow.
So, and all the way till present day, it still happens, even where I live now. It's.
Do you feel like it's drawn to you?
I don't know. It could be attached to me. I did some things in my younger days, played with Ouija boards, and so who knows? I mean,
that'll do it.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just craziness. I mean, I've had things move fast, lights turn. I've seen orbs and actual shapes of people, shadows
Really?
move. It's
Yeah, I was gonna get to it at some point tonight, but might as well go ahead and do it now. Have any of you seen a full body apparition?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh shit, all three of you. So
One time. No, 2 times.
all right, Randy, go ahead.
So the first time, I was 7, and at our old house, and I was getting up for school. I wasn't getting up for school. My alarm clock for school was going up on a Saturday. I just forgot to shut it off. I get up. My alarm clock was on the other side of the bed because if I didn't have it over there, I wouldn't get up. So I got up, ran over there, shut it off, and as I was like running back to my bed, I jumped in and rolled back over, and I could like the hallway is right there, and I saw this like whitish, yellowish, full body figure come running out of his room, my mom and dad's room. And I could hear it stomp all the way down the wood floors and then turn the corner and then stomp all the way down the stairs. And I thought it was him at first. I was like, oh, that was him. Like I'm gonna grab my Nerf gun. I'm gonna go find him and I'm gonna shoot him with my Nerf gun. Right. I was 7. So anyways, I did like I went through the whole house. I went downstairs. Nobody was down there. And then I went upstairs into the room and I saw them both were sleeping in there. And I was like, what in the world was that come flying out of his room? Long story short, we went over to my grandparents' house telling my story because that's where like all the ghost stories happen. And my mom was getting ready for work and she had 3 scratches on the back of her neck. And from there, I was just like, whoa, what was that? But that was the first time I've ever seen anything like with my own eyes.
7 years old. Well, first off, I mean, how fucking mature were you to have your own alarm clock at 7? I mean, I can't even handle one at 45.
That was so my sister was born when I was 7. So ever since she was born, they had their attention went to them for the most part. So I was up to me to get up. Like obviously they would have been there if I needed to, but I was like, I'm gonna do this for myself. Don't know why, just kind of how I was at the time. But yeah, just getting up and saw a ghost. Wasn't ready for that.
Damn. All right. Nick, what about you, buddy?
So yeah, mine is actually that Great Cloud Island story. When I went out there, they had like these stacked up rocks. They're spiritual, or they keep. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's part of their culture. And I ended up knocking over one of those pyramids, and whatever it was that was in there, trapped to it, followed me. So like I got home that night, and I was actually sitting on the couch, and I was watching Ghost Adventures. And I'm sitting there and I'm
of course
taking myself out all day because I was just like, I need something to tune out and make sure
and Zach Bagans walked through the door, right?
Yeah, right. And so then I'm sitting on the couch and my door ended up knocking at 2 a.m. And I went over there to just peek out the window because I'm like, why is somebody knocking at my door at that time? So I peeked out the window to see if there was anybody there. Nothing there. I turn around to go walk back to the couch. And it hit hard to where the floor was vibrating and I couldn't move. I felt like I was in quicksand. I didn't even want to turn back towards the door because I knew it wasn't something that was human at that point. And It just had like all the goosebumps in the world going up my spine. And then when I went up the stairwell and I got to the top of the stairs, I saw a silhouette of like a headdress. And that's what my experience was like a shadow figure. Yeah.
So like a Native American headdress?
Yes. Yep.
Ooh.
Holy moly.
Yep. And I actually ended up calling him at that point, and then my fire alarm started going off.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god.
So they were smoking a peace pipe in there.
Yeah. Not a fun experience at all.
Not very peaceful.
No.
And from what I remember you telling me, it was a big.
Yeah, it towered over me, and it was like probably about 7 feet tall is how I would describe it. And I actually ended up calling him, and then all my because my alarm started, my fire detectors started going off, and the first one was just a chirp from like a low battery. So I thought, okay, that's normal. And then as it kept on progressing and going to each one of them, I'm like, there's no way. And then they started sounding off, and then I leapt out my patio door, and then I drove out of that house. I didn't stay there.
Well, honey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have stayed there either. But it's
All right,
fun.
Chip, what you got, buddy?
Well, this one is probably more recent. I still travel once in a while, but I do in on-site job installs. So I was at a hotel and just got back from dinner, so it was probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. I walked into my room, and it's a typical hotel room. You know, bathroom was on the left, the mirrors across from the bathroom door, just a queen size bed, just a standard room. Well, I walk in there, and the bathroom light was still on as I walked by, whatever. I normally turn my TV on. I didn't this night for some reason. I lay in the bed, and I just get this feeling somebody's in the room with me. So, and I finally find her. She's standing behind the curtains, you know, at the edge of the bed. You know where they got that thing, the heater AC unit.
AC unit in the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back against the wall, curtains. And I'm like, there's no way that's a real person. I know it's not a real person just because I just know. And she just had long, dark hair, white gown, and she started hovering across the end of my bed.
What the fuck?
I'm laying there, you know, and I'm like, and she starts hovering towards, and I'm facing the window. I'm laying on my side, and it's moving towards the bathroom, just hovering. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm trying not to turn too hard to look at her, to notice my movement. And I watch her go all the way to the mirror, and she turns in front of the mirror, and I can't even see her figure in the mirror.
God damn.
Goodness. No, this was, I'm going to say at the most 5 years ago. And I just watched her stand there, and I'm like, you know what? I ain't got time for this tonight because I was kind of tired. And I'm like, I know it's not real because I've dealt with this crap for my whole life.
It don't matter, Chip.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You know it's not a human in there. You know it's not a human.
I just knew it wasn't it was a solid mass. I couldn't see through it, but I could just tell it wasn't real. Like, I just didn't want her to notice me. So I just kind of laid there and let her do her thing. And I woke up the next day and like, oh man.
Oh my
God
God.
damn, Chip. I mean,
Oh, that explains so much because your father went to sleep in a freaking haunted jail like nothing.
Oh yeah, Dad. Yeah, he's quite the character.
Yeah, when we talk about the haunted house that originated all of it, that's his house.
guys, this is why I don't do paranormal shit. Because
Well, the thing is I've been doing it, been used to living it with it my whole life, and then it's just kind of neat if we catch some cool stuff on this equipment.
Yeah, so you've become desensitized to this type of thing. So we're taking it
trust me,
as
I get scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did.
were you scared while this was going on, Chip?
Yeah, I was scared. I ain't no kidding, but I was just
I was tired, man.
That's one of the creepiest first-hand stories I've ever heard.
Never heard something like. And
Yeah.
I mean, would it be out of pocket for me to say that the kahunas in this family are like freaking boulders?
I was going to make a ball comment, but I laid off. I'm glad you did. There's some testicles in this family.
Just enough to get to the place, you know?
Yeah, when you get there, it's a different story, and then you're like, sure.
But when you're kind of surrounded by it and you're just living your life, and next thing you know, you're sleeping in a hotel room and you look over and it's there, it's just like your whole life. It just pops up. You don't expect it.
Well, not only that, but I don't run anymore. So
Yeah,
when I was 15
old
and this
fat
stuff was
run.
happening, it would send me scooting. Like I would see stuff in the basement, and I would take off running upstairs. If nobody was home, I'd run outside to be like, well, where the hell am I going to go? There was a couple times I got in my car and drove away at 16, 17, 18 from, but now it's like, man, they never chased me with knives yet. So I just kind of,
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
is what it is.
That is
And
wild.
real quick, before we move on, some of you have noticed in the chat we have Miss Crystal Blevins, one of our favorite paranormal investigators. She's been going through some medical stuff, her and her mother. So I hope that they are both doing well. And yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to her and her mom real quick. But yeah, guys, holy hell.
That is wild.
He has another story from hotel rooms where he's just traveling, not in like any sort of ghost hunting mindset, and it's just like some paranormal happens. But
Well, we got to hear it.
Well, that hotel, it was weird because you know how they say construction or any kind of remodels tends to stir up spirits.
Yes.
Well, that hotel was being, the outside part of it that you could access was being demolished, and then one of the floors was being, and it was weird because my TV was acting up the whole time. It would go to squiggly screens. And the thing is, I ended up moving a room because my TV was screwing up, and I think it was the paranormal stuff. It was messing with the TV. And then when I moved the rooms, that's when I saw the lady in my room. I'm guessing it was lady. It was long hair, white gown. I didn't see actual.
Was that the same one with the thing that ran across your bed?
No, that was a whole different trip. Is that's what you're thinking about?
That's the one I want you to tell too.
Let's hear it.
Move on.
Well, we just get there. It's first day. It's broad daylight. We just check in, and I bring my bags in. There was 3 or 4 of us on this trip, but everybody had their own room. Put the stuff down, go eat, come back, and it was early night that night. And I'm just sitting on the bed watching TV, and all of a sudden, like 3, 4 big footsteps just ran right across the bed, stepped over me, and took off to the where I couldn't see nothing. It was just I felt the bed moving, and the imprints made me bounce. So I jumped up and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, that's great. What's going on here?
Damn it, man! Something's in here with me again.
So then the next day, I ended up sleeping there. But the next day we got down there, met everybody in the lobby, and my boss or the lead man, he's like, we're switching hotels because my internet's not working very good.
Yeah, it's my internet.
Let's go.
It's not the dead
like,
woman
freaking
standing
sweet.
at
I was back in there, got my bags, and I was out.
Well, I mean, at least
I don't mind the dead woman standing at the end of my bed watching me sleep. It's the internet.
at least it was polite and didn't step on you.
Yeah, it didn't step on me, but it went right over me. I could just tell. I could just feel the motion.
The whole bed got moved, and you just got tossed around in the bed, and you're like, "Whoa!"
God.
So that was a good news the next day. I only had to sleep one night in there.
That was another good one. I loved hearing that. It was just hilarious.
That's wild. God, that's crazy.
I don't know. I'm kind of envious of y'all's family. I mean that's really, really cool that so many people in your family can share this interest, because I mean, me and a couple of my sons have this interest, but I mean, my dad is interested in it, but I don't get out in the woods with him. You know, it's just not something he does. I think it would be awesome to be able to do something like this with my dad. And I hope that one day I'll be able to do it with my sons.
Well, and that's why they're my broomies, okay? Because a family is very important to me.
Yes.
And, you know, Randy is Chip's son and Nick is their cousin, correct?
Yep.
Right. And then Jack came with them. And that's Grandpa Jack.
See, Grandpa Jack.
It's a family thing. So I think it's really cool.
And it's funny too, because my dad, he's a skeptic, but I don't think he's as much skeptic anymore because
I'm looking for Grandpa Jack, the picture. Where is it?
me and him have actually had talks a few times about different things he's seen.
That's
Yeah, Grandpa Jack. Yeah, that was that at the squirrel jail, y'all.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into that. Let's talk about your experience there. Or yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we're fighting over the mouse.
Okay, now you go ahead. You take it, Tiffany. You pull up what you want.
Okay. Y'all go ahead and start talking about the squirrel cage jail. That's what this is.
Yeah. So we just found it through Ghost Adventures. They did like a serial killer like series where they went to like 7 different like haunted serial killer locations, and this was one of them. And I was like, wait a minute, this is like close by, like just right down in Iowa. So 4 or 5 hour drive. That's how we found it, and they do overnights, and we're like, that's where we're going. And obviously, watching the episode from Ghost Adventures, like it has a lot of history there, of an infamous serial killer there that had supernatural powers of himself. Yeah, Jake Bird, super famous. He confessed to, I believe, 46 axe murders, spraying for like 10 years or so, and they finally caught him because he still had brain matter on him from his last kill. So. And then they put them there. So yeah, that's how we. That's a little bit of background of that place.
Could he?
How the hell do you explain brain matter?
Right.
It was 1946 when they got him.
Right. I mean, they let him out on good behavior, right? Then he
Yes.
They didn't even know about all that stuff. They were letting him go, and then
so they caught him one time before his other. So he had like 30 or so killings. Mm-hmm. They caught him because it was a failed attempt of a mom and a daughter somewhere in Nebraska. And it was a failed attempt. So they turned him in, and then he got put to jail, and he got let out early because of good behavior, and then committed a lot more, axe murders after that. But
so what was his MO? I mean, did he have, I'm trying to think of the words. Did he have a certain type of people that he would attack? It looks like a black guy.
Yeah.
I mean, was it women, children, men, black people, white people?
It was just the area. He has the nickname the Tacoma Axe Murderer. So all around like the Nebraska, Iowa, Tacoma, Council Bluffs area is where he was kind of doing his murders. But it goes a lot deeper. You guys can do a lot of research, because
I'm going to, because I've never heard of him before tonight.
He's even linked to Velisca, if you believe that. But he was a little bit too young. He was like 12 at the time, so I don't believe that one. But some people try to tie it because it's on the same railway as that.
And this poor family at Velisca was bludgeoned to death with an axe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he started.
Yeah, but he was 12.
Wow.
Somewhere in there. He was an adolescent, like in the teens maybe, so it's a little young, but he never confessed to that one. I feel like he would have, like, being how infamous he was and famous, I feel like he would be the type of person to be like, that was me, if he got caught. But
because they're always cocky.
Before the Bigfoot and the ghost and all that stuff, I've always been a true crime buff, and I pride myself, as crazy as this sounds, I pride myself on my serial killer knowledge. And I'd never heard of him before tonight, literally. So I'm going to be looking into him.
It's
from the 40s. Like, he got caught in the 40s. So from the 20s to the 40s is kind of when he did these, like, confessed to him. There might be more. Like, he's linked to, I read some article, he's linked to like 100 plus, but he confessed to 46.
Damn.
It's wild.
This picture right here is the one that just fascinates me. And talk about this. What the hell are we looking at, y'all?
That's like 3 stories of jail cells, right? 3 stories.
Yeah. And it rotates, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at the backside.
The cells are the only things that rotate, and it's on a hand crank. The bars are actually stationary, and then there's an opening at one end of the bars. So that's how you do it. You rotate the cells in order to get the person out of there. This thing is like straight out of a Saw movie, if you've ever seen that before. And like when you go in there, you never believe that this thing was existing or used for that purpose. And then also in that dang jail, they have a solitary confinement. And if you did bad behavior in this jail, you go to there. And it was like a 2x4 that you would stand on. And then there's doors that shut you in. And it only stands about, I don't know, 5 foot 10 inches because I'm 6'1" and I had to slouch down into that area just to fit in there. And
now, what do you mean by 2x4?
Yeah, that's as big as the section was for you to stand on. It was
it's like this wide, like shoulder width, and like this high. And you have to. There's only standing room. That's it.
And that was the solitary confinement.
Yes.
Yep.
So you couldn't sleep.
Just a little
stand
path
up
to get your meal, and that's about it.
Well, they opened the door. You could
just lean forward and hope for the best.
Shit.
Yeah, very inhumane.
I mean,
cowboy stuff. 1880s. It was built.
People would argue, what do they deserve?
Yeah, there's one guy that actually spent 6 days in there, in that.
Oh God!
Oh my gosh!
Just only being able to stand.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, they were like, and each cell is kind of like pizza cutter. Like, I mean, they look like a piece of pizza, I guess, if you would.
Well, that pie thing
and
Trivial Pursuit.
So,
hey, who's that laying in the top bunk?
That's one of y'all? Yeah, a little mannequin.
They had a mannequin.
That's a mannequin.
That's Grandpa. That's a foreshadowing.
That's Grandpa.
You played Trivial Pursuit, right? With the little eye shape in the round thing. If you look at from the top view, that's exactly what it looks like. A Trivial Pursuit circle that rotates.
And that's the toilet back there. That little cutout.
That's the toilet.
What? That's the shitter?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, because in the video, Chip said, could you imagine shitting in
Yep.
that?
Of course, that's something exactly what he'd say. Imagine taking a shit in that. Yeah, that's something he'd say. But yeah, that thing would spin really slow, like when it was first made, like on the hydraulics. So people would be just spinning in there for days before they got to their turn, where the one opening is to get out. And they told stories about people, they'd put their arms out and people's arms would turn and they would get their arm chopped off.
What?
In the video, they talked about somebody, taking their own lives with the, they tied it against it when they got to the part where there was a wall, took himself out there. So there's a lot of death and bad stuff happening.
Oh my God. I'm trying to grasp this. So the bars are stationary.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like the floor and the walls and the shitters and the beds and
everything rotated.
They turned and the bar stayed still.
Bar stayed there. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all solid steel welding too. The inner of it, it's just a steel shell. Like I said, a big steel circle. And you see at the bottom where them bars are cut out, they just cut those out so you could have access to that cell from that floor level. Otherwise,
now, does each floor level have an opening?
Yes.
Each of them had an opening.
It just might have been on the opposite side.
It was
of
only
where the
one.
stairwell was.
It was only one.
So if there was an emergency in one of the cells.
You're waiting. You're waiting. Because they would talk about the stories of these guys, like when they're asphyxiating themselves by tying sheets in there, and it's like you can't even get to that person. Or on the outside, because of the stationary bars, they would climb all the way to the top. And there's only one guy that's working in there. And one of the requirements was that he had to be married, because the wife would cook the meals for the whole jail, and then that guy had to be there 24 hours a day, and he lived on that. So up in the upstairs, so like up above that whole jail area, that's where they would live in like a loft apartment type situation.
No. You're fucking with me right now. So the one person who worked there had to be married.
Yes. That was
and his wife had to prepare the meals for everyone there.
Yes.
3 meals a day.
And
What the hell did she do? Why is she in jail?
Because she married him, damn it.
And
It
then,
was the sheriff. It was the sheriff of that county. That's where he was up there.
The sheriff is the one that did it.
Yep.
the maintenance would be done at the top too. So like everybody that, you know, if they shit, all those fumes go right up into their living space.
Oh my gosh. I didn't
That's the
know
only ventilation.
Yeah, it was something I was like, this is crazy. I would never do this in my life.
Inmate poop.
It was vented.
I didn't even put that together when I was watching y'all's video on that. That they were the very wow. That's rough.
Yeah.
And I wonder how proud they were of this back then. Like we're innovative.
That's one of 7, I believe, that were built. There's a map in there. I believe I put it in the video. There's a map of all of them that are like spread across like the U.S. But there's only 2 that are left. It's this one and I believe one other one, and they're museums now. So I don't think the other one does paranormal stuff. This is the only one that has like you guys can do overnights. But it's like a museum by day, and you can stay there overnight if you want to.
Wow. And I had put it out on Facebook when I was showing everything, and then up on TikTok and Instagram too, that when the Estes method is my favorite. Okay. And you guys do that. And let me tell you, my mind is everywhere because I want to talk about everything. When you guys were doing the Estes method and Nick was in there in the Estes method, that REM pod that went off wasn't the only thing that got touched. Can we please hear your story about that?
Are there pictures of that, Tiffany?
Yeah. So yeah, Estes is when you lose all your senses. You blindfold yourself. You put the headphones on, and they're noise canceling, so you can't hear anything around you besides that static that you're playing through the radio.
Spirit box.
And then they're asking questions, and then I did some bad stuff too, because like I was challenging whatever was there just because I wanted to.
He's always challenging.
Yeah,
He's trying to get
I'm
his
gonna lock you back in your cell.
So as soon as I said all those things, now I'm doing this method down on the floor, and then I got to a point where I thought they were just trying to tap me out, and it was a pretty hard hit to my leg, and it came from like my right shoulder where my tattoo arm is. And as soon as I felt it, I took off the blindfold and I looked behind me to see who did that, because like I was actually mad at first, but then when there was no one there, it freaked me out.
You were mad because you thought one of us
I thought it was
you.
either Chip or Randy trying to just freak me out by getting me out of there, and and it was something else, and it was terrifying at that point.
Well, those are nice legs.
I'm sorry, I've started this big whole thing now.
Now it's a thing.
Yeah, it was interesting because Nick was, as soon as we got there, like we know Nick's background, right? So he was in there, he was in his element. He was like, "Hey, get back in your cell. Like we're gonna search you. Like it's time to go to bed. Like you're locked up." So he was coming in with that energy just to try to pull something out, and he felt that.
Yeah, because they were telling y'all were sitting there, you and Randy were sitting there on the sofa, and you were doing the spirit box, and they were just saying some awful, awful things. And, you were like, "Are you evil?" And then it said evil. I mean, and these were clear. Now, I'm sound sensitive, so listening to the spirit box it hurts my ears, but the way y'all had it makes it so much better. But you could really hear these words being formulated, and they were telling you, "I'm going to stab you. Do you like us up here?" And they were like, I mean, just some craziness.
Clear FUs, all stab yous. That's probably the most aggressive we've ever had any spirit towards us.
Yes. And that was after they found out that your job is what it is, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, like these, I don't know, and I feel like at every location I get kind of targeted.
Yeah.
And then
You asked for it, bro.
I probably got more threatening behavior toward me than anyone in the group.
So what did you feel, Chip, when you were in there? Because you came in there while all that was going on. The REM pod was going off. The cat balls were being, messed with.
Yep.
What was kind of the feeling in that room?
wasn't nothing. There was one spot, if you see in the back, there was a mannequin always there. It felt like somebody was always there. It was just weird. I couldn't tell where he was coming from, and that's all I had. It was, yeah.
It was
just a weird feeling.
eerie.
Eerie. There you go.
Eerie. Yeah, this is where y'all were doing the spirit box.
Yep.
And it was cussing at you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, as scary it was awesome hearing that come through, and it was loud. Like, we've never had a spirit box come that clear and loud and distinct. It was so fun.
Yeah. Let's see. It's this. Nope. Sorry.
Oh, that was a good time right there.
Yeah. Talk about that, Randy. How'd that make you feel?
Well, this is where it's supposedly Jake Bird's cell was, and his all of his stuff that they have in there is in this area, and this is also the area on the second floor where one confirmed suicide was right here. Like some dude hung himself with a sheet right here, and we were having a lot of activity right here to begin with. So we're like, we're gonna do a spirit box right here because the REM pod was going off in the hallway. Back there, the cat ball was going off. So it was just impromptu spirit box.
Yeah. And I'd seen on the comments on this video, somebody had said that there was like a manifestation there at the jail cell.
Yeah, Nick actually found that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Nick.
so like right behind where Randy is, you could kind of hear things going on back there, and it just was like a uneasy feeling, and then something like a mist. It almost kind of looked like, but it looked like it was trying to form into something. And then I mean, as quickly as I saw it, it was gone. But when we were like replaying the video, I knew exactly. Like I always try to tell Randy, like, mark that spot. We don't really have that, but I just want it, like, as soon as he hears my voice say that, I want to look closer at that area just because I know that there was something that was happening during that time.
And then as soon as that thing like manifested and backed out, the laser grid that you can kind of see by my feet, like dim, like it almost died. So it went from like full to dead. So it was like almost like whatever it was using that energy and almost manifesting.
Oh yeah, because it was using that laser grid upstairs too a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was really dimming it.
Yeah, actually, when I ended up getting touched or kicked, that laser grid was doing something weird up there too. And it seems like whenever that happens to that dang thing, it's like storing up energy to make something happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that because it was almost like it would die.
Yeah.
And then come back.
Yeah.
It was
like at almost every location that we've used that thing, it does that, and we always think like, oh, maybe it needs new batteries, and that's never like we always change the battery right before we go out and put it up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, like at this location, I think specifically, like all of our stuff was dying pretty quickly, and we definitely like stopped at a store, got all the batteries that we wanted to, did the exchange right there on site, just so we all knew that was like brand new stuff. So when it was dying, we were like, holy cow. And then we would get those crazy EVPs at that point.
It's wild. It was using every ounce of that energy.
Mm-hmm.
How did Grandpa Jack feel about it? Did he have a good time?
Oh yeah, he did.
He likes that historical stuff. So he's fascinated by that part first, and then this paranormal stuff second.
And I think that's kind of where my fascination comes in, because I love listening to the history part of it, because it does give you that backstory, and then you go into the investigation and you like tie in certain areas of the investigation with what happened. It's just wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would not. I don't know. I want to, but I don't.
Yeah, he was probably like overly comfortable because he went and napped in a cell by himself, and we don't even do that.
Yep. Like I can't. Like y'all had a camera on him, and you guys were upstairs, like upstairs.
Yep.
And there's footsteps walking beside this man, and he's just knocked out.
He's
Oh.
out.
Not a care in the world.
It's just so crazy because we were all the way upstairs. You can hear us in the background, like all the way upstairs. You can barely hear us. And at that moment, we were doing a spirit Estes, and it said Jack, like it said his name, and it was like, go check on him, go check on him, something like that. And Nick and Chip were outside. They weren't connecting the dots like at first. But then we were doing TikTok live, and then TikTok live, we had a family member. They're like, wait a minute. They said Jack, like, go check on him. It came through me. Like, I had no idea what they were asking, but that came through me out of the spirit box. And it connected. We're like, we need to go like downstairs and check on him because something told us to. And then, playing back like the night vision camera we left on him, you hear like these heavy footsteps walk up. Do you hear like walk up to his cell? Like someone was checking on him, and it was cool. Probably the craziest thing we've ever caught, almost.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you hear or when you're watching investigations happen, the people react, but as listeners, you can't hear it. But I'm here to tell you, go here. Everybody who was watching, those who are listening to this on the podcast, it's the Paranormal Pursuit on YouTube. Check out this video. You will hear these footsteps. I mean, they are very audible. It is just insanity.
Yeah, we actually get a lot of our viewers too pick up on stuff that we don't even capture, or they tell us stuff. Like I remember our last time that we were on here, someone pointing out the cat, and we didn't even know it was a cat on a couch.
Yeah.
with the
SLS
camera. Yep.
Yeah, but he had a good time, especially with the SLS, because you can really see things. But we didn't really get much with that in there, but he had a good time.
Yep, but he's on the next run with us down to wherever we're going.
Melbourne, he's coming.
Manor.
Yeah, he's coming. I asked him when he wants to come along. I said,
Breaking news! I didn't know that. Let's go.
I said, "There's an open seat."
Yep.
Found out.
Always an open seat.
That's crazy cool though. I don't know. I think if I went out to investigate, I would want to go with you guys. Just there's that comfortability,
Absolutely. You guys come anytime.
Bros.
Well, I'm in Virginia. I'd have to get on a plane.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Something.
Well, is there any haunted houses down there we could book an overnight at, or anywhere down in that neck of the woods?
Well, I can find one. I mean, Virginia, there is a lot of history here.
Sure
a lot of history.
Yeah,
So-
we don't limit ourselves to the Midwest. We can go anywhere, but
Yep.
it's easy
Yeah.
to us is all.
It would be amazing if y'all can make your way down here, because the East Coast, there's all kinds of haunted shit. I mean, like Gettysburg.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a big one.
Yep. And
we got a couple war buffs in our group here too, so they'd love that.
Yeah, I'd love to go there.
Yeah, there. He's showing off your leg.
Nice leg, bro.
Oh yeah.
Nice leg, bro.
God, that's sexy.
Well, yeah, just to clarify, Nick never found a great ghost on this hunt, sadly enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He had to settle for the cherry.
I want to know who that is in the top bunk. Which one of y'all is that?
Well, and when they went and investigated this jail, it was Halloween. So they
Yep.
had all
Really?
kinds of different decorations.
Yep.
For the
Yeah, they do something crazy for that, where they do their tours and try to scare people, I assume.
Right.
I just thought those were really lit pants.
They are not
Right?
dazzled. Okay.
dazzled. Yeah.
I don't think Randy's wife hooked him up with no bedazzled jeans to wear.
But-
Absolutely not.
What looking at there?
But yeah,
I
it's
mean, what the hell are you thinking about there?
I'm contemplating life at that point.
Deep thought.
The ghost told him to F off. I'm going to stab you. Nick's like, well,
Uh-huh.
should we leave?
Maybe
I
I
actually
shouldn't have
did a
said that.
solo up there.
Yeah.
You guys I had to do a damn solo.
That's right.
Who did a
because
solo?
the TikTok live, they chose you to
Yep.
do a solo up there.
And that was probably the worst part too, because there was that one mannequin in the corner, and I always had to keep my eye on it because it just felt like that sucker was going to start walking away, but it didn't.
Wow. No. And you guys never now it's at the bottom of the jail. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this where they put kids who were bad. I
Oh, there
most
was
like
that.
Yeah, it was on like the second level, and they had like a wing that was designated for juveniles. And we didn't really, I don't remember if we really got anything out of there. Just a weird feeling when we first got in there because that dang little mannequin, that little girl mannequin was freaky.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I could have done without all the mannequins. I'm sure y'all could have too.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they weren't there. But
Yeah.
yeah, the wings, the kids' wing used to be the women's wing. Then they turned it into the children's wing, and then there's a little girl spirit that's said to roam around that area. Though they don't know where she came from. There wasn't like any children death that's like on record.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of like some that's what's wandering around that areas. But it was creepy, but we didn't really get too bad of a vibe. Probably because it was just a kid. We're like, we're gonna go where the scaries are at.
Yeah.
Why are mannequins so damn creepy?
Oh my gosh, you're telling me.
Well,
And
you know,
they always like you forget about them too. So like when you wander around, then you come back to a place and you see it, you're like, holy shit! And then you shine a light on it, and you're like, oh, you.
I have gotten scared by. I used to work in retail. I quit in 2023 to do this, but I used to work in retail, and we would get there at 8:00 in the morning. And so all the lights would be dimmed and off. And, you know, I was a picker and a packer. So our stock room was completely black. So when you opened up the double doors, it would shed some light in there. And there's mannequins
Yep.
just sitting back there. And upstairs, oh my, and you're just like, fuck, who's here?
Yeah,
Those
this looks like a human for a second. You're like, oh, just a mannequin.
And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
just kidding.
silhouette.
Well, what do y'all think about sharing this trailer that you guys created?
Oh, yep, that's perfect. I just whipped it up, and like an hour before, I was like, let me just get a trailer just in case to give the audience a little sneak peek of our next video coming up.
Okay. Well, we are going to share that right meow.
Hey, do you think since I've spent the most of the time here that
I felt something come up
Dude.
behind me.
Dude, shut this off. Shut this off. Shut this off.
Bro,
There's something running.
something came up those stairs.
Something's running.
Did you hear that?
We have been summoned to a new location. This is just somebody's regular house. They currently live in there. We were really close with them. We were just invited because they see what we do with the ghosts, and they're like, hey, if you guys want to come stay the night in our house, we're going to be gone this day. Feel free. So we're like, of course we're going to go see that. So stay tuned.
In that room.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Something fucking chased me! We started reading some stories. Owners of this house sent me 9 different stories about this place.
Damn.
Dude, there is too much going on.
Much going on at one time. I heard those stairs. It sounded like it was sprinting up the
Yeah,
stairs.
Yep.
I heard
So this is how the email starts off. We believe the spirit haunting the home is a man named Lloyd, who was the original owner of the home and lived there for over 50 years. Before the property was bought from his estate, Lloyd died of a heart attack in the home.
That one's going up.
It is. It's red.
What?
What's red mean?
it's strong.
They're both going on. Dude, it's red.
Bro,
What?
these things went nuts.
Are you serious?
Multiple times.
What was that?
Did you hear that?
What?
There was
Bro,
a hiss.
something hissed at me. Is there cats or anything here?
No.
No.
There's nothing here.
No.
You heard that?
I
though.
heard that.
Is that on that camera?
Yes. Oh my god. What was
You
that?
heard that? You heard that?
No,
Sorry.
something made a. You didn't hear that
I
clap
heard
back
it, I
there?
heard it.
Yeah,
That
I
sound?
Is there something evil downstairs?
Evil?
It did say
Evil.
Yep.
I heard that. I live here.
Who are you?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I was
Something
just
is water.
No.
Did you hear it? It said, ah! Like, as if it
Yes.
was mad.
Hey, do you think since I've spent
Yeah. This place was scary. That bed got put into my leg when we were sitting there.
No.
Damn.
I'd be done. I'd be done.
They want us to do it again.
And where was that place?
It's a family friend, so they don't want anybody to know where it is or like any addresses. They were just like, hey, like we have a lot of stuff going on. We know you guys do this stuff. You guys will probably have a fun time hanging out here. So that's about it. It's just a family friend's house that we were invited to. But they just live there every day. There's a lot of stories out of there, and we're like, yep, we're gonna go stay the night. Absolutely.
That's what, because you guys reacted in there exactly how I would react. Like,
Yeah.
whoever ran down the stairs and was pushing him, like, same. I would.
Yeah, it was a vortex of just energy, and that place was wild. Like that was probably the most energetic place that we've been. Just all at once, just kind of one thing after another, and we just couldn't, like, it never felt comfortable ever.
Right away. It did towards
the end, I would
towards
say.
the later it got, it seemed like the lighter it got, but right away it was active.
They were like, no.
We'll be
this
back.
is mine.
We'll go back
Y'all
to
think-
that.
Huh?
We'll go back to that spot again.
Oh, I definitely think you should. Do you think it was Lloyd? Like, was there any?
Yeah, that for sure. There, he's definitely there. Like he's very protective of that house, and that's what the owners say. Like they live with him, and they understand he's there. And there's like a coexistent and like an agreement. Like this is your space, but we currently live here. So us coming in there, and Nick's coming in hot. He's going in hot, right? So he's getting all the attention. So from the beginning, it was just like nonstop. But throughout the night, it seemed like whoever Lloyd's in there got comfortable with us. And towards the end of the night, like it wasn't as bad as it was in the beginning. But I feel like there's definitely more going on there than just him. Just because of the aspect that there is a lake behind the house and a railroad on the other side of the house. And if you kind of read into the paranormal, it's said big bodies of water as like an energy source or some sort of like holder, and same with the railroad, like with all of with it in being in the middle of all that, it's just like a hot location, and for it being just a random house, you'd think it wouldn't be that bad compared to like the Squirrel Cage Jail or the Villisca Axe Murder House, but it was number one like activity from beginning to like end. It was just nonstop.
That's crazy cool. Crazy cool.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we get to the questions?
You were actually going to talk about the big old hairy man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is why I'm here, right? God, you're welcome.
Yeah, I mean we keep you around for a reason.
I know.
These guys live in Minnesota, and you guys know that we have had a lot of reported activity of Bigfoot in Minnesota. And we were talking before we came on, Chip has actually had a couple or some experiences with Bigfoot. So I wanted to get to that. Chip, what's going on, buddy?
Oh shit, not much. No, it was the Bigfoot stuff. It's been around deer hunting. So the typical knocks, you get the 3 knocks on the tree. One night in particular, woke up late, early morning, and had to piss. So I step outside of our hunting shack, which was an old 1970s model camper with more mouse holes in it than anything. So if anything wanted to get you, it was coming in, whether you liked it or not. But I stepped outside, and the infamous scream, like you hear on the Bigfoot hunter shows or research shows, I heard that scream. Roar, scream, I call it whatever it is, and it was just eerily close. So Needless to say, I stepped back into the shack and shut the door real quiet.
And you heard knocks as well, right?
I heard the knocks. I've heard those even at night, just in the same camp.
And I've heard those same knocks too, because we used to hunt like deer hunting way up north, like just probably an hour south of the Canadian border, so deep in the woods. And if you get out there early enough, like you just sit there in the quiet, and you'll eventually hear the knocks. I never heard the scream, but he for sure did.
I can't believe it didn't wake anybody up. That's how loud it was.
Really?
Yep.
So it was a scream.
Yes. It just sounded. It didn't sound. I've spent enough time in the woods. I mean, it just didn't sound like a natural scream that would come from an animal that you would be thinking it would be coming from.
Now, you guys are lifelong hunters, right?
I have been.
Yeah, he's more so.
And you spent a lot of time in the woods. You've never heard anything like that before?
No. Not that one. I mean, I've actually, I've seen rabbits getting killed. They sound like ladies screaming. Yeah, I've had a lot of time in the woods, and I've never heard that one.
You should give us an impression of that.
Oh, I don't know if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was chilling.
Yeah, I've heard those screams before. I've talked to people that have heard these screams that sounded like a woman being murdered. Is that how you maybe would describe it?
Not that one. No, the one that from way up there. No, that was a whole different scream.
Okay.
I've heard a lady getting killed out in the woods because it's usually like a rabbit. It was probably like a bird or something eating it, and I woke up in the middle of the night hearing like just a blood curdling scream that was going on for felt like hours, but it's probably like a few minutes. But he knows what that sounds like of a rabbit getting torn apart.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's something more bone chilling than that, and I've never heard anything like that before.
But
okay.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people say it's almost like a scream and a roar all at the same time. It's like intertwined, and it just makes it worse to hear it.
Loud and long.
Sounds pretty Sasquatch-like to me.
Yeah, and you never know what's moving around out there in them woods.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in the forests.
And it's
I mean, we hear all kind of activity, all kind of reports from the Minnesota area. So that's something that I asked the guys before we came on if they had experienced anything, and Chip talked about that. So nothing else.
No big in the neck of the woods.
Any of you two have any recent ghost stuff happening at your place? I haven't here, but I know sometimes these two will have something follow them home after a hunt or something, and have something knock on the door or something. Have you guys had anything happen recently over there?
No. Well,
tame.
I don't think anything's followed us home.
I now have so at the sheriff's office we have a clergy or a priest, and I will go get cleansed after every ghost hunt now.
Really?
You're very smart for doing that.
Yeah, because after I've had something follow me once, I don't want that again, because it's no fun. Because no one if you have skeptics, they don't believe anything that you say, and you have to experience that day in, day out at any time. It's not like it's just nighttime. It can be you're taking a shower and something happens.
Yeah. Well, and that's an awful place for something. I mean, that's your most vulnerable time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not.
Taking a shower or taking a dump, either one.
I have a terrible shower story actually.
Let's hear it, Randy.
So real quick, it was right before I moved out. I was at where my dad lives now, and this was around the time where Nick had that figure in his house and the alarms going off. And they actually coincidentally both had the same part go out in their car at the same exact time. I believe it was like a water pump or something like that. And your guys' cars went out at the same exact time. Anyway, so it was around that time. I'm in the shower. All of a sudden, on like the curtain, it looked like something like backhanded it, and it like almost hit me. And I was like, whoa! I was like, get out of here! I thought it was my sister. I was like, get out of here! Like I'm in the shower. Like what are you doing? And then their room is attached to it, right? So from their room, there was knocks on the shower wall behind there. And I like peeked my head out and I was like, I know you're in there. Like you can't scare me. Like I know you're in here. It was like 3 p.m. It was like daylight. I was like, you guys can't scare me. Like I know you're in here trying to freak me out. And all of a sudden, to the door of the bathroom, my sister opens up the door and it was like, who are you talking to in here? And I was like, are you not in here? And she's like, no, you've been in here talking to yourself for like 5 minutes. What's going on? And then I shut it off, got out, and I was like, okay, what was that? Something smacked the curtain next to me, and I flinched. I was like, what was that? Yeah.
I would have been running out of that shower, butterball naked, and whoever saw me, saw me.
Did you say butterball naked?
I did. Butterball naked. Neked. Naked.
I'm gonna use that word in my next ghost hunt.
Butterball naked.
You've never heard that?
Never.
Oh,
You just made it up.
no. I've been saying that. God, I'm 45. Well, almost 45. I've been saying butterball naked for forever.
No, you haven't.
We'll shout that out in the next hunt.
That's right. Oh, look at your
Please
cute
do.
doggy.
Yeah,
Hi.
this is Arlo.
He knows he's on camera. Look at him.
What's up?
Yeah,
bud?
he's doing it on
That
purpose.
smirk.
Yeah, my Yogi's laying over here in the bed. That's awesome. What's up, buddy? You're a good boy.
That's so cute.
Too much time without some pets.
Yeah.
I love animals. I love animals.
But no, that's it. I don't think we had anything else to share. We have the Malvern Manor hunt coming up in the next couple of weeks here. But yeah, soon we're gonna get the undisclosed location video coming out here, hopefully in the next week or so. I'm kind of wrapping it up, just to add some music in there, some more effects, and make it entertaining for y'all. So be coming out soon.
And I will absolutely share that out. And I know we're a really Bigfoot heavy show and change the name and everything, but you guys will always have an open invitation.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because
Nice.
y'all are my bromies and we got it like that. So
We appreciate
Well-
that. We love this. This is such a good time.
We do have a few questions, if you guys
Yeah,
don't mind.
Do it.
All right. First one is from our buddy Troy. Does Chip see dead people?
Hell yeah, he does.
I've seen figures of only one that I can remember is my grandpa. That were actually his figure.
All right. And Chip, you are very, very popular tonight. Chip, do you think it's the same entity following you or numerous?
I think it's numerous. Because I could be anywhere. Like I said, I can be in a hotel room I think that it was in whatever state.
Okay. That one was from Chris Blaylock. And one more from Troy. Any chance what Nick saw was an alien? He asked that earlier. I'm not sure what he's referring to.
the shadow figure.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? Like it's weird because like paranormal stuff it's a wide variety of things. And if you've ever heard of I think it's called Starfield Ranch, and they have something that's called the Greys, but they come in a paranormal type entity form or whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, maybe.
Nick, don't you have a story? I don't remember this if it was you or not, but if it was you, one of your coworkers, one of your cop bros went out on a call, or it was you, I don't remember, some early in the morning, some farmer was like, hey, something's in my field. And I don't know if it was you who responded or somebody else. You were on the way to the field and you saw this thing shoot up out of the field. I don't know if that was you or somebody else that you know.
So I went to a call one time and guy was saying that there was somebody out in his fields messing around, and he thought that they were just teenagers because it was next to homecoming. So we ended up getting the call out there, and I was just taking questions, right? Like, I'm just asking them basic things. And then we saw this, like, I don't know, it looked like a big giant orange basketball, and it was like glowing, and it shot straight up into the air until it disappeared. And I still, this day, I have no idea what that was, but that was what this guy was calling about. Because and he's like, I know you saw it. After, like, we all witnessed it, and I'm like, holy cow, I don't even know what to put in a report about this, because I don't want to sound like a crazy person.
Yeah, how do you write that in a report?
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I left it very general. Just lights were flickering in the sky.
We'll just make him sound like the crazy one, not me.
Yeah.
I need to keep my job.
All right, guys. If y'all have anything coming up that you want to promote, anything, just tell everybody where they can find you. Anything you want to promote, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that was about it. Just that new video coming out. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. Just go to the YouTube. We're almost to 3K. Yeah, we're almost to 3K subs. That's awesome. Like,
awesome.
Didn't expect anything over 100. Honestly, we started this we just did this to show our family members, because they're obviously all into it, and it kind of blew up into something a lot bigger than we ever imagined. So yeah, just go follow the YouTube. We got a new Melvin Manor video coming up. Go to TikTok. We're live on there on our hunts. We go live on TikTok, and you guys can interact if you want us to ask questions through the spirit box, or want us to go do a solo or do a challenge. Like, we're open to anything on there. Not guaranteeing we're gonna do a solo. I don't like going by myself, but we might. So yeah, just TikTok, everything at The Paranormal Pursuit. Follow us there.
Yeah, and if we have the links to all of your stuff, if we don't, please send them. If we do, we will share those when we upload this to podcast.
Perfect. Absolutely.
All right, guys.
I've really had fun. Thank y'all for coming back.
It's a blast.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah, hanging out with you two.
Really, really fun, awesome show. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us. We wish you nothing but the best. And like Tiffany said earlier, you're welcome back anytime.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having us back again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, and you guys please go follow all of their stuff.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Good show.
I knew it would be. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like them.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Kind of disappointed that we didn't get to that little creepy ass puppy doll from the last time.
Oh, the Boo Bear.
Yeah. Was it a Boo Bear? I thought it was a puppy thing.
Well, it was like a Boo Bear. I mean, it was a puppy, but like, you can touch it and it'll make a noise and all this stuff. And every single one of them have a different, had a different reaction to it the last time we put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So those of you out there that are wondering why on the Bigfoot Report we're talking to paranormal people, it's because we've had them scheduled for a long time.
Yep.
And I enjoy talking the creepy stuff.
I do too.
I really do. So even moving forward in our new format, we're still going to have some ghost adventures, ghost investigator people on. I just enjoy those shows.
Yeah, like this one was so fun because you just let loose and you just talk and have a conversation, and
Yeah, and they're really good guys. They really are. You can tell.
100%. So,
all right, you got anything else, ma'am?
No, I will put out the request. If you would like to be on with us, we do have an opening this coming Tuesday. You can reach out to either one of us, Wayne or Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com if you would like to be on with us. But other than that, I think that's all.
All right.
I think that's all.
We are going to get up out of here.
My husband.
What?
Look at the screen of what he said.
Next legs.
Hashtag next leg.
Yeah.
I
She
didn't
enjoyed
know.
that leg too.
I didn't know his legs were gonna be like such a thing. I just thought it was a really cool tattoo that everybody should see.
Whatever.
That's funny.
Quit lying.
You quit lying.
You just like those legs.
Don't be jelly of his leg.
I got some pretty nice legs myself.
You have The Shining. You have Johnny on your calf.
I do have a shining tattoo on my legs, but my legs are so nice because I carry around all this weight.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, love y'all.
Thank y'all
you
again for everything.
so very
all the support,
much. We
donations.
will
Yeah.
we will talk to y'all soon. Love you. Thank you for everything that you do. Let's get out of here. Bye.